Hello and welcome, bookworms. Welcome to this week's episode of The Consented Narrative. We're looking at The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. Now, obviously, I've done the other books as book-to-film adaptations when I was doing them. I no longer do the book-to-film adaptations, so I just solely do the book reviews. So this is why I'm only doing a book review on this. But I will say, although the film is quite a bit different from the book, I did thoroughly enjoy the film. So I would say if you can, give it a go. The acting is fantastic. The storyline is almost the same, but they changed a few bits because you're like, well, I get it. So this obviously, I'm assuming everyone's heard of the Hunger Games. I'm assuming everyone knows Snow, but this is sort of like his beginning. And honestly, I saw a lot of sort of like Instagram videos and conversations around Coriolanus Snow and being like, oh, we did all of that for love. And I'm like, okay, let's stop you right there. He didn't. So I'm just gonna like start off by saying everything he did was for his preservation. When he thought that he was buggered, do you know what I mean? That's when he was going to run off for love. When he realised that actually he was in the free and clear, he then switched. Everything was about his own preservation. He didn't care about anybody else. He gave the pretense of caring, but like his friendship and like looking after Lucy, those were things to get ahead in the game. His friendship was with one of the richest people because he knew, and it wasn't even a friendship, he even says that several times throughout the book. But honestly, when I was reading it, she's written it so well that I'm like sat there going, okay, I knew he was bad news from the Hunger Games trilogy, but like this is something else. And it's so good to get into the psyche because he essentially starts off being, you know, house rich but cash poor, and not being able to afford food and not being able to afford like proper clothes, so he has to like keep like patching up the ones he's got. And literally the only food at one point, he's like, the only food he gets is when he goes to the college. I like the fact that, you know, he comes up with these ideas and then he falls in love with Lucy, but not in a way that like it's a all-encompassing like I love Michael, he is my heart, my soul, my other half. You know, he falls in love with Lucy because Lucy is a way to get forward in the like in life. That is why he falls in love with Lucy, because she can win. She can be the person and give him the notoriety that he needs. And it's just so interesting to see sort of like his inner workings of thoughts, and it's interesting to see sort of like how the Hunger Games were and the turning point to how it's becoming the ones that we know. I won't say and love, but it becomes the ones that we know with the sponsorship, with the sort of like feeding them beforehand, making sure they're actually alive to participate. But honestly, it was just, I'm always cautious when I love a book series or even just a book and then they write a prequel. Again, similarly, when they do it with films as well, like I love Monsters Inc. And when they were coming out with Monsters University, I was like, let's see how that goes. I love both, just saying, you know. But I was a little bit sort of like, okay. And now I hear that she's writing another one about Haymitch's games. And I'm like, I'm sat here going, I need that. I can't wait for that. But I love the way that she writes him. I love the way that she writes the characters. I love the way that it's sort of like, because this is the thing, is like watching the Instagram videos, watching the discussions, and even watching, I mean, the actor, the name escapes me. I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry. But watching him play Coriolanus Snow and everyone swooning over him was fantastic because everyone's discussing it and going, is he good? Is he bad? He's bad, honey. He's got so many red flags. Do you know what I mean? Like he's not good. He does not love unless the love suits him. And it's so satisfying. Like, because even though you know how his story ends, to see how it kind of begins, how he starts getting involved in the Hunger Games, it's such an interesting read. And I honestly would say 100% you need to give this book a go. even if you've never read The Hunger Games, you know nothing about The Hunger Games, read this one first and then read The Hunger Games trilogy. Because honestly, Suzanne Collins is a fantastic writer. I love her books. They are so easy to read. Like, I picked this book up and I was reading it and I would not even notice the time go, to the point where I'd be like, oh shit, I've really got to leave, or I've really got to go do this. So I had to start setting timers for food and stuff so it wouldn't burn. But this is what I mean. She keeps you hooked and the characters are great. And I honestly do think that you need to read it. So obviously I thoroughly enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Also, let me know if you think I'm wrong. Because again, I'm not the be all and end all. Like, do you know what I mean? But if you think that he does love, that he is capable of love, leave it below in the comments. But if you're like me and you think that his love was only used as a tool to get him further, again, tell me. I'd love to know. Sorry about that. But thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you for the climbing subscribers. I think I'm at like 270 something now, which is really good. Thank you for sharing my videos. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for taking the time. But remember, always keep it contento.